Hello, this is Ed from the Evercade Effect, and today we're going to talk about why you should get Atari Arcade 2 collection. We're going to compare it to the Super Pocket that has 50 games. We're going to talk about the other Atari collections as well. And that way, depending on which collection you have, you can kind of decide for yourself to you. Why than this video? I think you'll be convinced you should get Atari Arcade Collection 2. Or if you're new into Evercade, I think this is a great overview on all the Atari arcade collections. So, kind of a fresh reminder. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the Super Pocket. Now, the other obvious thing too, and I'll probably mention this a few times during this video, the Super Pocket games you can only play on the Super Pocket. It's not a cart that you can play on the VS or you can play on the EXP or the OG handheld. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. So we go ahead and we take a look at this. Berserk Arcade and both Berserk Frenzy, those are on the new Atari Arcade Collection 2. So those are going to be, those are going to be duplicates. The other duplicate, if we go ahead and if we dive down to Lost Tomb, this isn't in alphabetical order, of course, but that's the other game that's on here. That is really weird that they completely put this out of order. But Lost Tomb is the other game on here that's a duplicate. Other than that, the new collection, those are the only three duplicates that are listed here. Now, let's talk about Asteroids Arcade, Cannon Bomber, Crystallis. We have some other Millipede, Missile Command Arcade, Night Driver, Liberator. These are all on Atari Arcade 1, Pong, Skydiver Arcade. We have a version of Breakout, and you do get Adventure and Aqua Adventure, both on the Atari Arcade 1 collection. If you have that now, those are legacy, but you can still find them for not ridiculous prices. What is new on this is Dark Cavern. We get Gravatar. We get Haunted House. I think we get Rare Luck. Save Mary. That's a new one that's not on there. Solaris. We have that Street Racer, but you're not missing much. Same with Submarine, Tempest, Atari. Atari 1 or 2. Some of the Video Pinball. Wizard is an Atari 2. Yar's Revenge is on Atari 1, but the better Yar is on Atari 2. Bounty Bob is new. Countermeasure and Final Legacy. Yeah, those, and what I mean by new is that, those are exclusive to the Super Pocket and the Evercade universe. Same with Miner, 49er, Zari Arena. Alien Barrage, we do get that on one of the Atari Arcade collections. I think it's the second one. Same with Asteroids and Centipede. Those are on... We get that on Atari 1 or 2. If you put in Atari 1 or 2, you do get Dark Chambers in your VS. We get Desert Falcon. We don't get Fatal Run. I wish we got Fatal Run. We do get Food Fight Ninja Golf on the first Atari collection, and we'll take those lists. Same with Motor Psycho. Now, if you have the Lynx collections, you will get Basket Brawl, but that's not that great of a game. Checkered Flag. I haven't really played Dirty Harry or Kung Fu, but those are... kind of from what I've heard and seen, those are like really mediocre Lynx games. Some of the Robo Squash, Scrapyard Dog is excellent, and same with Super Blasteroids. Those are also both excellent. Warbirds I'm familiar with from Atari 50, the digital collection, and Turbo Sub not as much. But these aren't the best Lynx games that are on here. So if we go ahead and let's jump over before we get talking about and looking at the list for Atari 2, let's go ahead and just take a look at Atari Arcade 1. Now, some of these games, you're going to need trackballs and all that stuff. But yeah, we got Asteroids. It's supposed to be the Asteroids Deluxe. You get Crystal Castles. Again, Centipede and Crystal Castles don't play too great without a trackball. You have your Lunar Lander. You have Liberator. You have Millipede. You have Missile Command. You have Pong. Super Breakout. Okay, so you do... And that's what I was saying. We do get a version of Breakout. Oh, it is. It's the same one. Okay, sorry. It's also Super Breakout. I don't know why I was thinking it's different. And Skydiver. And then you get Warlords, which is different. So pretty much all these games, actually, now that I'm looking at the list, all these games except for Warlords are on there. So now if we take a look at Atari Collection 1, this is the red cart. You have Adventure, Alien Barrage, Asteroids, Aqua Adventure, Cannon Bomber, Centipede. You have a lot of the non-arcade Food Fight, which is excellent, one of the best games in the cart. And you do get some bonuses. You get some of the console versions of some of the games, but like Ninja Golf is excellent. Motor Psycho is all right. Um, and there's the god awful Yar's Return. The second one is so much better. And now let's take a look at Atari Arcade Collection 2. And you know what you get? Yeah, so okay, so you get the 7800 version of basketball, so you don't even really need the Lynx collection, which I think probably a 7800 version is going to be better anyways. You get bowling, which is a lot of fun. There's the 7800 version of Asteroids, and yeah, you get the 2600 version of Dark Chambers. But if you put Atari Collections 1 and 2 in your VS, you get the 7800 version, which is much better. There's your 7800 Centipede. You get Demons and Diamonds. This game is awesome. This is so addicting, very arcadey, plays well. I know it was initially designed for a spinner, but you don't need that for this game. And this game is not available on any of the other Atari collections. I really like it. Desert Falcon, 700 version, a good shoot 'em up. Haunted House, if you're a big fan of that. Human Cannonball, Planet Smashers, kind of a very different fun shoot 'em up. And that, again, that's not something that's on any of the other Atari collections. Millipede. There's our Radar Lock, Sprint Master Man. Okay, there's Solaris, Submarine Commander. We got some other, there's Street Racer and all that. And then we've got Yar's Revenge. I'm sorry, maybe I'm getting, Yar's Revenge, that's the good Yars. Sorry. Yes, Yar's Revenge is the good Yars. I may correct myself from earlier. I don't know why on Atari Collection 1. What are they put the bad, Yar's Return. Okay, so you can see they're very similar. You can see here they're very similar in name, and you can see why I got confused. Yar's Return, no. Yar's Revenge is the good one. So again, you get that on Atari Collection 2, and then we also have Wizard. So you can see there's really a lot of overlap with all these collections. So you can kind of tell if you have Atari 1 and Atari 2, the red collections, and you have Arcade, the purple collection, you pretty much have everything that's on here. Yes, there's some of the games like Save Mary and all that, and Dark Cavern that are kind of neat. But I kind of feel like if you really want some of these extra games, you can also, if you have Atari 50th digitally, you can also get one of the DLCs or whatnot. But yeah, you can really see all the important games that you're gonna really care about are on those three collections. So if we jump over here, let's go back up to Atari Arcade Collection. There we go. Okay, so now let's talk about this. So we mentioned you're already going to get Berserk, Frenzy, Lost Tomb. Okay, but keep in mind you can take this cart, you can put it in another Super Pocket. For example, I can go ahead and use it. Ta-da! I can use it in this guy right here. I can use it in the Taito Super Pocket, as a cart slot. I can go and pop it in. In addition to that, I can put any of the other Atari collections in here as well. Despite the D-pad, again, I've talked about, despite the D-pad not being good for having to do a lot of diagonal movements, I can still pop that in here and play all those games. It's the same D-pad that's going to be in the Atari Super Pocket. Now, of course, you could go ahead and take this game and put that in the Atari Super Pocket, but then you're going to have a duplicate of these three games versus if I go ahead and put it, the Taito Super Pocket, I get all the Taito games, plus I get a lot of good games here. So the Atari 2 cart is going to be worth it alone for Berserk and Frenzy. Tasmania looks like a lot of fun. Lost Tomb gets a lot of fun. That's a duplicate, but Tasmania looks neat. That's a new game that's not on there. Moon War, that it's a shoot 'em up. That looks pretty cool. Dark Planet, that looks like it's going to be fun. We have a lot of these like shoot 'em ups and action games. Now, yes, Fire Truck is going to be doggy doo-doo. I don't really see this being that great of a game just because of how it's going to play. I could be totally wrong, and I hope I'm wrong on this, but I think this will be a throwaway game on the chart. And then you have Maze Invaders, which this looks really fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. So I think at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to what I've been saying a lot, and that it's quality over quantity. I really think with the Atari Arcade 2 collection, yes, it's a smaller collection, but you're getting a really fun, curated collection of games, plus ones that I haven't played before, right? That look just like kind of that very familiar, that Atari feeling, but you have that discovery. So you've got the nostalgia. And while nostalgia is great, definitely, I'm not arguing that, we've had a lot of Atari overload. So for me, I'm really looking forward to exploring something new with Atari. Plus, if you already have the other Atari collections, you don't really need the Super Pocket. Yes, you could argue it might be great that you have those 50 games, but don't forget too, these are also 60 bucks. Those carts are $25. They used to be 20, but if you get two of those carts, it's going to be under the cost of the Super Pocket. I even want to, I even want to say that maybe if you have to pay a little bit more for the legacy collections, I doubt. I mean, I doubt you shouldn't be paying more than $30 anyways for legacy carts. So two of those is the cost of a Super Pocket. And if you already have a Super Pocket, I definitely don't think it's worth it to get another Super Pocket just to have all those. The main point of the Evercade ecosystem is to be able to have all these physical carts you can use on your different devices, capture the nostalgia. And there's one other thing I did forget to mention that is really cool that you'll get with these Atari collections. Yes, don't forget, you have the physical copies. And what's great that's in each of these physical copies, other than the card itself, you get the neat clamshell to sit on your shelf and the instruction booklets. How cool is that? You're not gonna get that with a Super Pocket, which is one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of collecting Super Pockets, because you've got the built-in games. Yes, I mean it's a Hyper Megatech product. It's officially licensed, but technically it's not even an officially licensed Evercade product. You can put in carts, but I think at that point you're better off just having one of those handhelds that you can get for around the same price as a Super Pocket to take those games portably with you, because I'm not going to want to lug around all these carts. And these are legacy, right? I can deal with losing a Super Pocket, but then if I lose one of these carts, especially something expensive like the Technos collection, I'm going to have to go out and buy it and hunt it down. If I lose like a cheap $60 handheld, yes, it sucks being out 60 bucks, but it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to have to go down. I'm not going to have to affect my Evercade collection. And for me, I'm not going to be playing around the house when I have three other Evercade handhelds that are more comfortable, and the EXP has a better screen. And actually, even the purple one is, it screen wise, actually I like better than the Super Pocket because it's that much bigger and it's more comfortable. So really, I think at the end of the day, even if let's say you don't have any of the other Atari, let's say you don't have any of the other Atari collections, I still think you should go ahead and you should grab Atari 2 just because of the curation. I really think you're going to get a better selection of games, and I think you're going to be happy that you can take this cart and you can put it in any of your Evercade handhelds. Not only that, if you are going to get a Super Pocket, you can get something like Taito, which in my opinion, has some very unique and cool games. As much as I love Atari, these games are going to play better because you get a lot of platformers, and again, you don't have to really worry about a lot of the diagonals. This D-pad is really bad for diagonals. It's difficult to not have missed inputs if you don't hit that right. And so yeah, less is more. I think what it comes down to, I think we have maybe minus Fire Trek. I think you're going to have 9 really solid games. They're going to be fun, and you're going to have lots of discovery with it. And so yeah, that's why I really think you should get Atari Arcade Collection 2. It's the start of the year of the arcades. Let me know in the comments below. Are you planning on getting Atari Arcade Collection 2? Do you have any of the other collections that I talk about? Do you feel the same way? Or are you one of those people where you just can't get enough Atari and you're going to get it anyways? If you do like what you see here, please consider subscribing and tossing me a like. We're well on our way to 2,000 subs. Trying to go ahead and grow the channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you want some extra behind the scenes and coolness, you can become a channel member. I'm going to go ahead and thank my channel members now. Thank you so much, everyone, and bye-bye. Thank you, Crashline, Mr. Shura, Immortal Surgeon, Ember Cummings, Joe Whitlash, D. Nestor, Corny Puddle, and Leo!